Welcome to EmpowerME podcast, empowering talented individuals since 2020. EmpowerMe is designed with you in mind, your goals, your challenges, your opportunities to grow and to prosper, all for you. We bring the topics in discussion, and you bring the desire and commitment to succeed. Now, on to the show.
Well, hello and welcome to EmpowerMe's podcast series. My name is Red Sharples, and I'm really excited today to go over episode 6 and review some things with this wonderful group of people. Today's episode, or this week's episode, episode 6, we're going to call it Owning Your Situation. And I want to start off with a quick blurb. I want to talk about in the Success Principles, title of the book, the Success Principles, author Jack Canfield says that we should take 100% responsibility for everything in our lives. We should take responsibility even when it seems outside of our control. And I completely agree with this. I feel that too often in my personal life, I find it is tempting to find external reasons to point to instead of realizing what my choice, what my path, what my part was in the events and situations I find myself. So we find things to blame. And when we do that, then we kind of block ourselves from taking full responsibility, since some aspects may fall outside of our control. You know, the reality is that it has to be something that we look to change when we talk about taking ownership. And there are always things that we can't control, but anything less than taking 100% responsibility can become a way to make excuses. So you've got to really take a look at what parts did I play? Where did I let my guard down? Where did I not do due diligence? Where was my part? Because in that part, I have 100% authority in which to exert control. So if you're thinking, okay, Red, I'm kind of in. I've been conditioned to blame. And you know what? After I initially point the finger, I still don't find that I'm moving forward, or I'm not getting any closer to realizing my goals. How do I improve? And I think this is, where it becomes interesting. We got to kind of let go of how we were conditioned to point the finger at others. And we got to look at, well, how do we improve? So what you do is you've got to find yourself in a mindset, and you've got to want to change. Now, for me, it's all about systematic improvement, but it's quite difficult to change that mindset overnight. I believe we have habitual ways of reacting to situations. So assuming, you have a desire to want to read, assuming you have a desire to say, well, I don't want to be like that. Well, changing overnight is really kind of not realistic, and it really sets ourselves up for failure. So what do? I say the first step is to say, okay, in every situation, both good and bad, what was my part? The part that I want to own. Because, think about it as creating ripples in a pond. You throw a rock in. You might not actually be out there on that third ripple, fourth ripple, but you chose the rock and you chose where to throw it, right? So that part you owned. Everything that happens as a result of that choice is connected to that action. Once you do that, you kind of get away from the blame game because it's internally focused. You're completely and 100% focused on your part. So, by owning your situation, you start to see the levels of interaction. You can start to see a full system at play instead of seeing, the ways that justify why something might not have been our fault. you realize this is what I chose to do. This is how I chose to act. This is how I chose to respond. Plug and play whatever your situation is. And now you have something tangible to work on, something finite that you can apply yourself to. And then, step back from that for a moment and say, what's different here? And ask yourself the hard questions. Do I feel any better? Do I feel any sense of true control? And then move forward from there. So stop, process, analyze, assess, adjust, move forward, do it again. Stop, process, analyze, adjust, move forward again. So listen, I'm just going to keep it just that simple. When we talk about taking full responsibility of ourselves, which is the topic of the month for us here in the EmpowerME Playbook series, it's really about owning those situations. And before you can own the situations, you have to acknowledge that you got to focus on what you control, and that's the 100% piece. And only through that mindset, that focal point, can you hope to move forward and move beyond. I'll end it there. I can't wait till we get together again this month. And as I close it all, listen, don't stop. Keep moving. I believe in you. Take care, guys, until we meet again.
We hope you've enjoyed this podcast from the EmpowerMe team. If so, please like and provide comments with any feedback you'd like to share regarding your take on the subject. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the Oaktown EmpowerMe channel today. Thanks for joining us, and check back in the future for discussions regarding your growth and development.